Today we are going to create dendritic monoprinting, and it's a printmaking technique where we're going to use two pieces of glass or plexiglass, two hard surfaces, and a variety of paints. Hi everybody, it's Kelly from Collage-Lab, and I've got some mixed media March minis for you. So dendritic actually means something that looks like veins or tree roots or frost, kind of a branch-like pattern. And we're gonna play around and see what kind of collage papers we can come up with. I'm going to put some paint down. These are a couple of 6x6 pieces of glass from some picture frames from the thrift store. So I'm just going to do one color here, just a few dots of paint, acrylic paint. And then I'm going to take the second piece of glass and press it on top of the other one. And then when I pull the glass away, this is where the magic happens. You may want to tape the sides of your glass so you don't cut yourself. Do be careful. And they stick really good together. That's interesting. Okay, so get the glass. Okay, well we'll see how that looks. And you're going to get prints from both sides. So I'm going to just press this paper onto the wet paint. And pull it off the glass. So you can see the little lines and stuff. I think I'm using too much paint. We'll go ahead and do this one on a book page. It makes some interesting marks. So I'm going to wipe off the plate and we'll try again with less paint. Based on the first result, I'm thinking perhaps that fluid acrylics may work better. So I've got golden fluid acrylics. This is yellow ochre. And I'm just going to try to put down some small dots of paint. All an experiment, folks. We'll see how it turns out. And then the second piece of glass over the top. There we go. As I separate them, that's the trick. That's what we're looking for, is this tree branch-like effect. So I'm going to do that one on a book page. And you can see what happened there. I'm thinking maybe not rub. I'm thinking just lightly put it on the paint. Just light fingertips over it. Yes, there we go. Fluid acrylic, don't rub. So, now that we've figured out the formula, let me wipe these off. I don't think the excess paint left on the plate is going to be a big deal. I think I am going to go through some paper towels today. All right, so fluid acrylic, we'll do the green gold this time. Random size drops and dots. Set the other piece of glass on top. And the magic happens when you pull the glass apart. That's where the pattern happens. Ooh, okay. Now, lightly put the paper on there, fingertips, not pressing down at all, just making the paint have contact with the paper. Not quite what we're going for, but we're going to get there. Try another book page. Set it on top. That's better. So really it is just about setting the paper on top of the paint, not really pressing down. I'm going to speed this up now that we've got it figured out so you don't have to watch me cleaning off the paint and loading it up again. But I'm going to use golden fluid acrylics for these. All right, we are going to try a new approach here, using more paint instead of less. So let's put down some red. Whoa, okay, that's a lot. And now I'm just going to brush this all over my glass pane. I'm also seeing globs, so the globs have got to go. That happens with paint colors you don't use often enough. So get rid of your globs. Oh my. Okay. Spread it around. I'm going to add another color in there, just give us a little variety. All right, and now I'll put the glass down. I'm going to press it really well together. And you'll notice I set the glass down a little bit offset. That does make it easier to separate the two pieces of glass because you're going to get some suction going on. So you do want strong glass. Ooh, I think these are better. Put your paper down, smooth it around. And, oh yes, that's what I'm talking about. All right, I'm going to do this other side on top of a mistakey one, just to add a little extra. There we go. Look at all the branchy-like things. All right, let me clean off the plate. All right, I tried a little something with the camera off. As I was cleaning off the plate, I just added some water and put the two pieces of the plate back together again. And I think we've got some interesting things going on here. They're not quite as defined as the drier version, but we've got some interesting branch leaf-like things. All right, just clean those off a little bit with a baby wipe, but you can clean them perfectly, or you can leave little artifacts like I'm doing here. All right, more paint we've decided is maybe better. I'm gonna do some blues and greens. I'm doing a mixture of paints here. Fluid acrylics, high flow acrylics, craft paint. We'll see. And then I'm going to mix it together with a brush, with your finger. I think finger is actually gonna be kind of a fun way to mix this. Why not? Okay. Mush the two pieces of glass together. And this is why you need sturdy glass or plexiglass, because there is some suction. You need to be able to pull them apart. Ooh. Oops. Don't do that. Put your paper down. Don't let it slide. That's kind of cool. And you can get other little bits. Cover your whole paper if you want with that remaining paint. That's interesting. This one might be fun. And you want to smooth it onto the glass plate. And then as you pull it off, ooh, yeah, I like that. Let's see if I can get a little bit more. You know, and these are all going to be collage papers, so they don't have to be beautiful all over. I am making a mess, but it is the good kind of mess, right? So more paint is better. Ignore the earlier experiments. Maybe I will master the art of little single drops at another time. I want to finish this video for y'all and show you at least a few successful Dendritic monoprints. And the finger works really well, right? It can be a lot of paint, that's okay. All right, flip my glass over, set it down, and press. And kind of pressing out air bubbles in between the two panes of glass. And then we separate them. And this one, well, we'll see. It may work, it may not. Ooh, that's kind of pretty. You can do this on fabric as well. Those are kind of fun. All right, let me clean this off. Try. Right, here we go. Some green gold. Light yellow. And blue. Just spread it with my fingers. It's quite a bit of paint here. Don't be afraid to use too much. All right. Put the other piece of glass on top of it. Press all over. You want to press firmly. And then it is a little tricky to get it to separate. If you've got a palette knife or something to pry between there. Ooh, let's see how this looks. probably a little too much paint or too much pressure. We'll see. We'll do this one with less pressure, perhaps. Some interesting lines and marks and things there. Let's see if I've got. This one's kind of fun. I'm going to actually put it over green. Yeah. It is definitely a trial and error kind of experiment. I'm going to try to clean the rest of this up with deli paper. Some interesting things here. Let me clean up. One more try. Go with the pink. And the purple. And the green gold. Okay, press my glass on top. And then separate your panes. Ooh. I'm going to try this one on black cardstock. Ooh, that's cool. Looks like tree branches or roots or even seaweed. Do this one on a book page. Very cool. And you can go try to get, more layers. That's pretty cool. All right, folks, that is the experiment. I'm going to clean up my mess, and then I'm going to show you all the papers I made. So I started going in one direction with these and was not real happy with the results. Some of them turned out all right, but some of them were just kind of blobs. And then I rethought how to approach it and started getting a few that were kind of cool and some that I'm quite happy with. And it's really, this is what Mixed Media March Minis is all about, y'all. It's about trying things, experimenting, and trying new things, learning what doesn't work. That obviously slipped on the plate, and so it didn't come out as crisp and clear. This one, I love the colors, but it's really just kind of a big old blob of paint. And this one's kind of, has a few nice places. Again, this one, too much paint. This one, I'll save these for collages, but this was not the effect I was going for. But then, once you figure it out, look at that. That's pretty amazing. And this one, you guys, look at that. That turned out so cool. So, This is, I'm going to make my little March Mini out of these. You know, they look like trees and branches. I've seen other ones that look like frost on a window. And I'm looking at some of my papers, and they remind me of water and algae and things like that. So I think I'm going to make a little collage with fish, surprise, surprise, and just use some of these papers in the background. I'm just going to cut an irregular shape out of these. Something like that. Something like that. What else? Even some of the not so fabulous ones that make a nice little accent. And showing off all the little fuzzy edges. This one's pretty cool too. I think we've got an underwater vibe going on, and cut out some fish to live there. And so I'm just going to glue these down. And I hope that even if this doesn't turn out the first time you try it, that you keep experimenting, you make notes about what worked and what didn't. I just kind of keep going because I'm doing this for 31 days on YouTube, and so I'm showing you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's part of the fun. Certainly not perfect, but definitely lessons to be learned as we try new things, experiment. And the more we know about the materials that we're using, the more we can make decisions about how to improve a process and that sort of thing. So pay attention to what your paint does on different materials. Pay attention to how things work on different kinds of papers. And this is today's Mixed Media March Mini.